Big sighs. Big sighs. I'm going through something in this moment. And you don't need to understand the details of it. And let me pause on that for a moment, because you hear me quote Marshall Rosenberg, the founder of the Center for Nonviolent Communication. We use this as one of our community agreements, even at Check Your Privilege, is empathy before education. And that means finding presence for empathy before you start to educate somebody, or correct them, or explain to them, or advise, or analyze, or blah, 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 blah. But that concept of the phrasing of empathy before education also works for me in terms of you don't need data from me to provide empathy to me. So I'm going through something right now. I'm frustrated right now. And you don't have to know the details of why to be present for me. So I just want to pause on that. And somebody's made a request that I'm having some resistance to. And I talk about what makes a request most effective. Are you being realistic with your request? Are you making concrete requests? Like, are you specific enough, or is it vague, But also, is it negotiable? And is it asking for something to happen or for something to stop? Meaning, make a positive request for something to start, not a negative request for something to stop. It's most effective when it's concrete, realistic, negotiable, and positive. And so the negotiable part, I'm reaching for the negotiable. I've been given a request that I have resistance to. And trying to experience the full spectrum of empathy for them and their request, and myself and my resistance. And where do I find the willingness and capacity to meet the request on some level that meets both of our needs? And jumping to agreeing to the request because I'm a people pleaser is hard, but you can always course correct. I mention that about MDC all the time too. There's always room to course correct. At that time when we were talking about that thing, I would have preferred XYZ. So right now I'm looking for what that conversation looks like. When you made that request and I said, okay, here's where I'm having resistance about it, and I'd like you to understand why. Doesn't mean I won't meet your request, but I'm feeling there is a lack of connection on it that I don't want to keep from you. And so how do I find the negotiation? How can I volley back some, maybe not that, but what about this? And so what I'm mourning right now is the lack of self-empathy I could find in that moment to ask for a moment. To pause and say, let me think about what you're asking for. So I'm mourning that. So I'm swirling all over the place, and I'm hoping you're following. I'm hoping it's helping you see these markers of timing when you are connecting and communicating with somebody, where here's where self-empathy would have supported me. Here's where I can use what I understand about the request phase to volley back a more effective request that could meet both of our needs, etc. So I'm trying to slow down because I'm angry. And I'm not angry at them. I definitely want to make it clear that I don't feel resistance to them. I'm just wanting there to be a pause that I can just sit in my humanity of why I'm in the resistance that I am, and swim around in my belief stage so I can consider why do I have resistance to this? I feel the resistance, but is that because, for any number of reasons, because I've been programmed to think this way or that way? Anyway, this is going to get rambly soon, so I'm going to stop there. Hoping this little journey of modeling the process has been helpful. Mwah.